Okay, so now that you have a WordPress account, you're logged in, you started the process for starting a new website. Well, the next step is to choose a theme. Now, depending on where you're at, you have a couple of different options as far as getting the look and feel started for your website. So right now, for most of you, this is probably where it will take you after you go through the steps of starting a new website. So that'll be under the My Home tab. So it'll give you step by step what to do. So I clicked on Edit Site Design. That's why I'm already like 2 out of 5 steps. But it'll keep you reminding you, right, to upgrade the plan. Again, you don't have to do that unless just for yourself you want to have your own domain, your own website without the WordPress branding on there. So yeah, going back to choosing a theme, which is the whole purpose of this video, you have a couple ways to do that. You could click on Edit Site Design, which would then give you options on changing the styles, navigation, and so on. But for this activity, let's go with this. Go to Appearance and then Themes. And yeah, let me click on that. Okay, it's working on it. All right, so when you're under themes, it's going to show you a lot of different options. And it'll also show you what you have active. So right now, for me, Assembler is the active theme. So if I were to go to my home page, a preview of it anyway, it's going to look like this theme right here. And themes, that's a great way to easily get started with a website. And so what I would say is if you ever get into this kind of work in the future, or more, what am I trying to say here? I was trying to say for a more pressing need or something like that, which would be to get some kind of website started for your assigned client this semester. Well, this is what I would recommend, is to start with themes. So yes, you could go to Canva or Illustrator or Photoshop to create a mock-up, but really there are so many ideas out there to where this would be a good place to start, because you could easily, with a little bit of practice and training, you could find an appropriate theme and then customize that with whatever you need to for your website, right? Your content, colors, images, and so on. So what I would recommend for you is, especially for those of you working with a client to create a mock-up, is start with a theme that you think would be appropriate. Now, this would be driven by whatever you found out from an earlier assignment, or an early assignment, which was about using the client intake form and having a conversation with your client to see what it is that they need, what they're looking for, what their goals are. So you would have an idea of, well, what theme to use. So as you can see here, it does give you many categories. So maybe if you're working with a real estate company, well, here are some options there. Or you could do a search. So here's the thing, right? For purposes of this assignment, if you're using a free account, well, that's pretty much the only thing you could use. So like, you can't use available on premium, because if you try to do that, it'll ask you to pay for it, right? Like so. And then it'll be the same for if I try to use personal. So yeah, it'll ask me to pay for it. And so yeah, I could scroll through and find free, or you could just do a search for free. And then there you go. So just to keep it simple, once you've decided, for this video anyway, once you decide on a theme that you like, so I'll just go with the first one I see here, choose it, read about it if you want. And then when you're ready to use it, click on Activate. So that's how you go about choosing a theme.